Everybody, today we're going to be in Frenchman's Natural Preserve up here towards Jupiter, Florida, cleaning up a bag of trash as well as seeing some nature. So this is going to have some litter in it. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to find out here, but we're also going to see what kind of cool plants and animals we can find in the forest. Let it go. So these habitats are great typically for gopher tortoises. We're under perhaps a little too much tree and plant cover here, but this sandy ground behind me, the gopher tortoises, and they're cool little creatures. They do love to kind of hang out. They make their burrows, and they're just these cool little guys. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see one, because if you know where to look, they're not that hard to find, but they come out. They seem to prefer hotter times of year. I could be wrong about that, but they're always out just eating some berries, doing something. So I've seen one up this path where we're walking, and I'm gonna go try to find it again, and we'll showcase it right for you. Oh, we're at it. Not a gopher tortoise, but look at these berries, cool little berries. I'm not sure exactly what they are. I don't think they're edible, but you have the unripe version right here, and then you have obviously these bright purple ripe berries further up the bush. So that's just kind of a cool little find. I love just seeing what there is in a forest like this, you know? So the type of biome we're entering right here is a Florida scrub natural area. So you see these kind of pine trees way out there, and then you see obviously there's a little bit of a clearing in the distance, and you get a lot of this kind of dirt slash sandy forest floor cover. Now, something interesting about these areas is that water drains super well through them. So these are very prevalent in South Florida, and the water really sinks into the ground. It's a little tougher for this place to stay very boggy and swampy, as opposed to more of an Everglades habitat. And as a result, a lot of these habitats are actually kind of in danger, because they make for great areas to build apartment complexes and other real estate, because you don't have to deal with flooding in the basement proverbially, or maybe even literally. Instead, what you really have is an area that drains to a fantastic degree, and so it's a lot safer to build, to build structures on. So a lot of these areas, these habitats are kind of getting lost. This is a intentionally protected preserve, but this kind of zone used to stretch across most of southern Florida. Now, obviously, you have a lot of cities, a lot of suburbs, but they're unique habitats, and they are where the gopher tortoise lives. And so the gopher tortoise is a pretty severely endangered species, because its habitat's getting kind of cannibalized by real estate. So it's a tough balance to strike. Humans and nature living in harmony with each other, and there's no really great solution. Obviously, we need more houses to support growing population. At the same time, it's important to appreciate these wonderful areas that are around us and have always kind of been around us. Getting deep here into the ideal zone for a gopher tortoise sighting. Look at the sandy underbrush here, and even more of it coming up. So I expect to find a tortoise in an environment that looks a lot like this one. These are not water tortoises. They're obviously tortoises that kind of prefer that little sandy, a little drier area. And their burrows are the home to so many different creatures. Birds rely on them, snakes rely on them. Really, when it rains around here, the gopher tortoise's burrow is so big and extensive that I think there's like 50 or 60 different species of animal, specific species. So maybe a bunch of types of lizards or whatever, but many species rely on the burrows of the gopher tortoise to kind of survive when the weather is not so hot, or when it's too hot outside. It's a keystone species is what it's called. Without the gopher tortoise, this whole environment, biologically speaking, may fall apart. So that, obviously, it's one of the reasons I clean up litter. It's one of the reasons I kind of try to spread the message of environmental conservation, is because the world around us is beautiful but delicate. And this species of tortoise is a great example of that. What you do have is, I don't know if you can see it, but I'll bring it up close. This stuff right here, right? That's called witch's hair. And what it is, it grows really all across these low-hanging plants like this. It's a parasitic plant, so it's actually collecting nutrients from the plants it's growing on top of. The witch's hair, a kind of spooky, sneaky plant, but if you come down to any park, realistically, especially these scrub parks in South Florida, you're gonna find some. It's a parasitic plant is what it is, the witch's hair. This is the real deal right here. This is an active burrow. It's a lot larger than the last one. You got this interesting little root. I'm not gonna be able to see down there, but maybe there is even a turtle down there. But if it's not in the burrow, then it could be eating plants right around here. So I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled. Hopefully this is the sighting. This is something I've never seen before. Oh my goodness. There it is. What I was gonna say is, seeing these little mushroom thingies growing out the wall of this. But then I saw the Gopher tortoise in an unexpected area. Look at this little fella. Chilling in the shade, probably just eating some plants, just having a Sunday, baby. Come on now. Simply munching that blade of grass. So many nutrients. That's awesome. Whether you liked it or not, I'm gonna keep this series coming. So if you did enjoy it, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps find new viewers who appreciate getting out there and exploring the natural world.